Venezuela's political landscape has been marked by significant turmoil and instability for over a decade. The country's challenges began intensifying during the presidency of Hugo Chavez, who served from 1999 until his death in 2013. Chavismo, named after Hugo Chavez, is a political ideology that blends elements of socialism, populism, and anti-imperialism. Chavez launched the Bolivarian Revolution, aiming to redistribute wealth, nationalize key industries, and reduce poverty. His policies included extensive social programs funded by the country's vast oil revenues, leading to initial successes in reducing inequality and improving healthcare and education. Chavez's charismatic leadership and policies earned him widespread support among Venezuela's poor. However, Chavez's administration was also marked by increasing centralization of power and weakening of democratic institutions. His government frequently clashed with private media, the judiciary, and political opposition, leading to accusations of authoritarianism. Relations with the United States deteriorated significantly during his tenure, with Chavez often accusing the U.S. of imperialist intentions. After Chavez's death in 2013, Nicolás Maduro, his hand-picked successor, assumed the presidency. Maduro's government continued Chavez's policies but faced severe economic challenges. Falling oil prices, coupled with years of economic mismanagement, led to hyperinflation, widespread shortages of basic goods, and a humanitarian crisis. The healthcare system is in ruins, with hospitals lacking essential supplies, and utilities like electricity and water are unreliable. The economic crisis has also led to increased crime and violence, exacerbating the humanitarian situation. The economic collapse in Venezuela has been catastrophic. Hyperinflation has rendered the currency nearly worthless, and shortages of food, medicine, and other basic goods have become commonplace. This situation has forced more than 7 million Venezuelans to flee the country, creating one of the largest refugee crises in the world. This mass exodus has strained neighboring countries, particularly Colombia, Brazil, and Peru, which have received the bulk of the refugees. Maduro's government has been accused of human rights abuses, political repression, and election rigging. In 2017, he established a constituent assembly with sweeping powers, sidelining the opposition-controlled National Assembly. The 2018 presidential election, which Maduro claimed to have won, was widely criticized as fraudulent, leading to the self-declaration of opposition leader Juan Guaido as interim president in 2019, recognized by numerous countries, including the United States. The 2024 presidential election has been a focal point of political contention. Leading up to the election, the government disqualified several prominent opposition candidates, including Maria Corina Machado, under dubious legal pretexts. This move has been condemned by international observers and opposition groups as an attempt to rig the election in favor of Maduro. Despite these challenges, Edmundo González Urrutia emerged as the main opposition candidate. Polls suggested a significant lead for González, reflecting widespread discontent with Maduro's rule and the ongoing economic crisis. On July 28, 2024, Venezuelans went to the polls under a tense atmosphere. The government-controlled National Electoral Council announced that Maduro had won a narrow victory, a result immediately contested by the opposition. Both Maduro and González declared themselves winners, leading to a volatile political situation. Mass protests erupted across the country, with opposition supporters demanding a transparent recount and an end to Maduro's rule. These demonstrations have often turned violent, with reports of clashes between protesters and security forces. The international community remains divided, with some countries recognizing Maduro's victory, while others call for an independent review of the election results. Internationally, Venezuela remains highly isolated. The United States, the European Union, and several Latin American countries have imposed sanctions on the Maduro regime, aimed at pressuring it to restore democratic norms. Conversely, countries like Russia, China, and Iran continue to support Maduro, providing diplomatic and economic backing. The Venezuelan military plays a crucial role in maintaining Maduro's power, High-ranking military officials often receive economic benefits and positions of power, creating a vested interest in the regime's survival. This relationship between the military and the government has been a significant factor in the regime's ability to retain control despite widespread opposition. Various international attempts to mediate the conflict have been undertaken, including efforts by Norway and the Vatican. These mediation efforts have so far been unsuccessful, but they reflect ongoing international concern and the search for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. As of now, Venezuela is in a state of heightened political crisis. The opposition, led by González, continues to rally support, organizing protests and calling for international intervention. Meanwhile, Maduro's government remains steadfast, using security forces to maintain control and suppress dissent. The situation is fluid, with the potential for significant developments in the coming days. The international community, including organizations like the Organization of American States and the European Union, is closely monitoring the situation, with some advocating for sanctions and others calling for dialogue and negotiations to resolve the crisis peacefully. What do you think the future of Venezuela looks like? Let us know in the comments. Also be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more on political situations around the world.